This game was even more frustrating. Like let me just be clear here. This game pissed me off because the Bulls had enough to win that game. Like, and Lavine being aggressive as he is. Shout out to Zach Lavine having a finally aggressive game. There are a lot of people in the pregame show and for a while saying that they wanted to see an aggressive Zach Lavine game. Zach Lavine in this game, 11 for 20, 33 points, scoring the ball very, very effectively, right? Zach Lavine doing the things that needed to be done. It's not looking good in Bulls Nation. It's going to be very, very ugly here. Especially if you're a Bulls fan that's on social media, it's going to be ugly. Be prepared for it because you guys, listen, it's going to be ugly. If Boston wins tonight, which I didn't check the score, I don't even know if that game's over with. The standings for our standings watchers is going to be get very, very ugly. Oh, it already Bulls moved down to fifth now. Fifth, fifth, two places out of being a play-in team. Um, this is just wow, wow. Like, oh man, like watching this game, it was frustrating for so many different reasons because the Bulls just could not stop the bleeding. Right now, the Utah Jazz hitting 19 threes at a 50% clip, damn near. Donovan Mitchell going completely off in the second quarter. We shouldn't have talked about him in the halftime hangout, getting 37 points, going 12 for 22 overall, 9 for 15 from three-point range. Yes, it took Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson going completely off for the Utah Jazz to be able to fuck with the Bulls in this game. But man, this is this is not pretty. This is not pretty. This is not pretty. That's all it is. All it is. D Graded says we're in trouble. It's looking that way, my brother. Are you concerned about a no? Not concerned at all. It is what it is. It just is what it is. This is the thing. Most people coming into the season, if they're being honest with you, didn't expect the Bulls to even be. If we end up still being the fifth seed, I still think the Bulls can get it together and get back on track. But even with that being said, so no, I'm not concerned about it. This is not the last season. I'm not worried about it in the long term. It does suck this season, but you know what? It is what it is. Donovan Mitchell, yes, destroyed us by my guy Jordan Clarkson. Man, Namath says all those fucking threes came at the worst time with zero. Listen, and they kept going to that same spot. That corner three killed us in this game. Even so bad, so that Donovan Mitchell was pointing to the corner like, "Hey, I'm going to the corner." They're not guarding that corner three. Bad, 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 just bad. Harris says, damn that hurt." Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Billy Donovan has to go. The team is not well coached after the season. No, Donovan, I can guarantee you Billy Donovan is not gone after this season. I guarantee you. This front office is going to give Billy Donovan another chance, hopefully with a fully healthy roster and see what he does. Billy Donovan is not going. He's not going anywhere. I'm telling you right now. He's not going. Not this season. Not this season. You thought we was playing when we said Chris Fleming. No, again, no. But that's not true. Again, that is over. Those type of thoughts and knee jerk reactions are gonna make the Bulls a worse team. So no, Chris Fleming is still not that dude. Y'all gotta stop being overreactive. Nope, Vooch is not being traded at all. This loss was not just due to Vooch at all. This wasn't. This is like actual basketball conversations need to be made. But no, those type of knee jerk things are not going to happen this offseason. Got to put some accountability on AK. No, again, this team is not. We have not been able to see what this full version of this team was. AK's built a hell of a team from deals. Like, keep in mind, yes, the Lonzo thing was rumored for years, but what they did in bringing in even DeMar to have a season like this, the accountability doesn't go on AK. It doesn't. He put together a team. What better deals were there to be made in this? Like this is what for people who say this has to be put on AK. I want you to tell me better realistic deals, not coming up with, oh, the contracts match. What was better deals that AK could have built this team better? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you. Smear 60, I like Vooch, but down the line, he can't be our starting five. What I'm saying in a few years from now, when our team is ready to really contend, it remains again, team construction is a team. It depends on how they construct the team. But what I will say is that Vooch's age alone and when his contract ends leads it to believe that he may not be on the team past the deal unless he comes back on quite a discount. Blah says the Bulls are not fun to watch right now. Might be a bit of a rant. They have not adjusted all season long to things. They have a poor attitude when they don't get a call. See Caruso in the fourth. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I like that. That's one of those things that Zach gets in his head when the refs don't do calls. We've seen Demar get frustrated. That was a stretch. Usually Demar stays pretty level headed, but it is what it is. Desi Des says, don't care what anybody says. The team is the first one to exit. By the end of the day, it's been frustrating post All Star game, but at least this team is decent. Okay, well, even if they are, I don't agree with that, but even if they are first one exit, okay. This season was always about building a foundation. Y'all, people forget this team was never built to be a contending team, right? This version of this team is not. This was a version of this team that was always meant to be a playoff team, to be a much better and improved team, to show Zach Lavine and the NBA we're looking to continually improve the Chicago Bulls. This was never the team that was meant to say, hey, we can contend for a title, maybe an Eastern Conference final run, but this was never a team the way that the Bulls started off the season, we thought that could happen. And it very well still could, depending on when everybody's healthy. But with that being said, even if it's not, this team was never built to be the surefire championship contending team. It just wasn't built that way. If we don't give Zach the max, we are mental. That one's from Samir. Zach's getting the max. Like, I don't even know why people are still having the conversation. Listen, Zach Lavine is getting the max. Like, all this talk about, hey, Zach, it's just wasted energy. Zach shouldn't get the max because he doesn't do such and such. His knee, he's getting the max, people. Zach Lavine is getting, anybody who thinks that Zach Lavine is not getting the max, it's willful ignorance. Zach Lavine is getting the max. That's period. Let's move on to something else. Like, Zach Lavine is definitely getting the max. Jonathan Miller, this I do share the sentiment. Haize fam, I love my squad, but on my mama, I'm disgusted. They can't guard a pick and roll for shit. Simple pick and roll destroys this team a lot. Simple pick and roll destroys this team a lot. Sky's falling, Bulls fans. We're not done. Like, y'all gotta. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. I can't wait to see when the Bulls start playing better how things change. Like, because I love Bulls fans, but Lord knows, up and down. The Bulls had no scoring off the bench outside of um, Kobe White. What do you say to signing Melo as the third power forward? I'm just gonna move on from that one. They're just not as good as we thought they were early in the season. Paul and Lonzo coming back, are not going what, brother? You missed a word there, blah. We still have a while to go before being a surefire title contender, yes. But I still think this team can and has a fighting chance against anyone. But again, if you're looking for a surefire contender, one of those teams where you're like, not uh season in and season out, we're going to be competing for a championship, we do have a lot of growing to do before we get there. A lot of growing to do before we get there. I've been saying for a while there that I think the Bulls are going to replace players like Malcolm Hill, Matt Thomas, Troy Brown Jr., Tony Bradley. They're going to replace those players with veterans. I think veterans who are not necessarily championship level veterans, but veterans who come in, they can play steady, they know how to fit in a role, they know how to what you're going to get from them, and they can be consistent and also help improve the mental of the younger players here. I definitely think that next year this bench is going to be drastically improved because they're going to be bringing in more proven players. I definitely think that. Da Bull said, "Hey, Hayes, the closeout on three-pointer shooters kills us. The Bulls need to do a better job on adjusting. Why didn't the Bulls double Mitchell when he got hot?" It's not just so yes, they should have doubled him, but at the end of the day, the way in the way that in which he was shooting, if you double out on the perimeter, it usually allows, especially with a team like this, someone to get in the middle. So double teaming, throwing a double team doesn't always help, but yes, I would have liked to see them do something to throw Donovan Mitchell out of his out of his rhythm, because that did not happen at all. David O says, "Sorry, man. I was upset in the moment when I mentioned Donovan being fired. Knee jerk reaction. I understand. Listen, don't get me wrong. I don't have my hat on because I threw it halfway across the house. So I'm not nobody to say don't get frustrated, right? But even in that, like, yeah, I'm glad that you were able to calm down. Like, we gotta remember. We gotta remember some things that are going on. But at the end of the day, the lack of effort on defense is never excusable, right? That's never excusable. And that's one thing when I was saying that, and it's funny now how people are like, injuries don't matter. But yet when I was saying it when the Bulls were going on the last losing streak, people were like, oh, you got to remember, we got this player out, we got that player out. It's like Bulls fans are so up and down. They will never be satisfied. They will always contradict themselves. That's always something that's going to happen. But hopefully, in being able to calm down, analyze the thing honestly, you can see kind of what's going on. And it is what it is. Desi Des, first of all, thank you for the support in the channel at this level, brother. I appreciate you. Keep doing your thing, brother. Although this team has been getting me pissed. Hey, man, listen. Like I said, I don't have my hat on because I literally tossed. I don't even know where it is. I have no idea where the hat is. Like, it's in the house, right? I hope one of the dogs don't pick it up and start biting on it. But I literally took my hat off and tossed it halfway across the house. I don't know where it is. So I understand getting pissed. Like I'm not above, and I'll never say that I'm above any Bulls fan and getting frustrated. I get so pissed. That's why I will never. The one time I did a live call with the Windy City Breeze, I was surprised I didn't start cursing there because I think that was a loss by the Bulls. Like I'm terrible about watching the Bulls lose. Even worse when it's the Chicago Bears. So I understand it for sure. He says, when I saw Troy Brown was in the game with 4 minutes left, I turned off the game. That, yeah, Tony Bradley, you know it like that, and it sucks because this was a game in which Zach Lavine would look like the Zach Lavine of old. Even though in the first half he didn't shoot the ball quite well, he fixed all of that. I think he got to 30 points on 19 shots at the end of the day, and I think he ended up shooting more than that. But listen, it's it's frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong, it's frustrating, and now it's getting scary, right? I've said it before. The Bulls, like their remaining opponents, have a combined winning percentage of well over 500. It's like 560 something. It's going to get really. It could have the potential to get really ugly if the Bulls don't find a way to stop the bleeding. So we'll see. We'll see. Lavine Clothing says, I apologize, Bulls fan. I wanted Donovan to drop 20. That boy dropped 37. See? Let's see what else we got. Trying to catch up. I don't have my glasses on either. Those motherfuckers got thrown too. Super chat. Thank you, Malachi. I appreciate you for supporting the channel, brother. Donovan should have let Kobe stay in. He is our bench scorer. So why take him out on 3 minutes when he scored 8 in 2 minutes? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Malar Miller says, right after the game, I was being red. Being here is therapeutic. Try to remain just to see red and not be red. It's hard, right? And don't get me wrong, it is very hard during times like this. Um, it's this is the type of basketball I expected to see from the Bulls at the beginning of the season when everybody was still gelling and figuring it out. Um, they're gonna have to figure it out at the end of the day. And you heard anyone who heard Zach Levine's comments after the game last night, or not last night, after the game against the Kings, like, Zach is saying the right things, right? And then he came out and one thing that I've always said is Zach is not a leader on the court. He came out with this game with energy in the first half, even though he didn't shoot the ball well in the first half. And in the third quarter, he came up big and tried to do everything he could. The Bulls got that lead down. They just could not help stay on it. And it hurt. And it hurt. Edsters asks, how could Lonzo help in this game? Easy. Pick and roll defense. Lonzo is one of the better pick and roll defenders in the NBA. On top of that, the way that he communicates out there on defense, it makes it easier for the players that are out on the court with him to know what's going on defensively and do better on the ball and off the ball defense because he communicates. So, with that being said, and also Lonzo's 3-point shooting, I think while Io did have what he had 15 points in this game, Io turned away some shots that Lonzo wouldn't have turned down, and with the clip that Lonzo shoots on, he would have definitely probably hit most of those. So Lonzo helps this team a lot of ways, a lot of ways. Shay says, I hope you know that Chris Paul is still out, so we should be able to. No, wait. Keep in mind that Phoenix Suns team without Chris Paul put up 140 points a couple of nights ago. So it's not that easy. And with the way that this Bulls team plays, we know that we give up big scoring nights to role players. So just because Chris Paul is out, that doesn't change anything. That does not make the game any easier of a win for the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion, with the way that the Bulls are playing right now. Now, if this would have been the Bulls in November and December, I would have said, oh, yeah, we're marching through that. But the way that the Bulls are playing right now, is you can't give anything as an easy win for this team. Let's see what else we got. D Grader says, okay, Hayes, from your perspective, what are we missing that is keeping us in this position? It's not just one thing. It's a combination of things that are going on with this team. The lack of adjustments by the coaching staff are definitely one of them, right? On top of that, DeMar has not been giving the output in which he was getting or the efficiency in which he was giving even earlier in the season, much less that historic streak that he was on. Zach Lavine has been hobbled. Now, we didn't deal with that in this game, but we've dealt with that before. The Bulls did not shoot an effective 3-point percentage again in this game, and that's something that's becoming more of an issue now. They did shoot 35%, whereas they've been shooting 20% and stuff the last few games. Rebounding battle definitely hurt. We got out rebounded by 10 again in this game. That's been something going on as well. Even when we were winning, remember when we went on that last winning streak? I was telling you guys we were getting out rebounded then, but we were coming up with wins. There's tons of things. I could probably name about 3 or 4 more things on top of that as well. Lack of bench scoring. Kobe hasn't been consistent. It's a lot of things going on with this team. So to ask that is not just one thing. It's tons of things, and it's a lot of things that should be fixable. That's not just the easy answer of saying let's bring Lonzo and Patrick Williams back. That this team needs to look at and fix. So, Dub Bulls, as you mentioned, the Bears. What the hell is the Bears doing in free agency? Listen. Not that I agree with it, right? This is me identifying. Not that I agree with what the Bears doing, but polls methodology has been let's get the cap down as much as we can, right? Let's get rid of dead salary and players who may not play a long-term position on this team or who are getting overpaid. And yes, we may not be able to replace them with the quality of a player that they are, but let's get that sap calorie down because we're not going to be contending. Why pay a bunch of salary for a team that either way is not going to be contending? They're going to try to put out a competitive team, but it's not going to be a contending team as they continue to build, as they continue to see what they have in Justin Fields, as they look for Justin Fields, a wide receiver, a big target there. There's a lot of things, but I understand from a business aspect what Poles is doing. We got to see if it ends up working out on the field. But this is not the Bears channel. Go over to Chicago, subscribe to Chicago Bears Central for my Bears conversation. I also got to put a video up for them tonight before I go to sleep and I have to record Locked On Bulls. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move in. Let's get back into some basketball talk. All right, bro. You don't want the smoke in 2K, so you ain't gonna respond to my comments. Hello, it's cool. Let me know. What are you talking about, Reggie? Like I'm in here talking about basketball. You talking about 2K. Did you add me? I already gave you my PSN. It's CEO Haize. If you don't send me the request, you can't talk to me about being serious. That's all I can say with that. Those two threes from Lonnie Walker changed the whole momentum of the game in the fourth. We were only down 7, then he changed everything. Yeah, even despite Donovan Mitchell going off on 3-pointers for a while, the Bulls were staying close, right? I think we were still maybe 5 or 6 at that point. But yeah, man, yeah, it's definitely getting ugly for the Bulls, and they got to figure some shit out. Hayes don't play 2K. That's cap. Oh, please, brother. The greatest. Hey, if y'all not sending me the PSN request, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. Okay, let me address this here, right? This I understand that when I first started live streaming, I read every single comment. It's not happening anymore. It's too many people in the chat, too many comments. So I'm sorry if they like listen, nobody's entitled to getting their comment read, right? So that's just flat out. I'm sorry. If you leave a comment and I miss it, it's bound to happen. The chat is too popping now. We've grown substantially. So listen, you got to get out your feelings about me not reading your comments, fam. Like, and that's not just to you, that's to everyone. I can't get to everyone. Period. Reginald said, "Would you change the lineup to shake things up?" Um, no, because I mean, the thing is, the what type of lineup changes? Now, are you if you're saying like start Caruso instead of Io? I can possibly see that, especially in the next game. I know Chris Paul isn't playing, but I can see that. But anything else, I really wouldn't look to change in the starting lineup. Um, before I had been saying I like to see Derrick Jones Jr. kind of get some starts at the four, but that was more so when him and Lonzo had that pick and roll chemistry going. Lonzo's not in anymore, so I don't know that the one thing if I was going to make a lineup change, it would be starting Caruso instead of Io in the next game. But even then, that's just to answer your question. It's not necessarily something that I'm looking to do specifically, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we get. Just change Vooch against dominant pick and roll bigs. Well, again, this is why team construction is a thing. Roster construction is a thing because this team was literally built. When you look at Lonzo being out there, part of what he brings is better pick and roll defense. And if you look at the early in the season, Vooch was playing better pick and roll defense. I think we were one of the better pick and roll defending teams in the league, and Lonzo helps with that. Patrick Williams will help with that as well. So yeah, it's you're never going to bring in any player that you replace. They're going to have their own sets of weaknesses. So it's going to happen. Keith, listen. This is how I know Keith doesn't. And I listen. Let's say this all the time. Keith does not know basketball at all, especially modern basketball, because the Bulls actually have one of the longest lineups in the NBA. Again, it's not just about height in the NBA. Like this is the same Keith who at one point said why the Bulls didn't play Stanley Johnson when he wasn't on the roster anymore. So listen, Keith, you got to do better here, brother. You got to do better. Wouldn't mind seeing Caruso start. Ion Kobe really something when they were coming off the bench together would be something to at least try. Yeah, I didn't even think about that aspect of it. Ion and Kobe's chemistry did get really, really good there when they were coming off. So for sure. Chirac, Bobby, would you be disappointed if the Bulls lost in the first round? No, and I've said and I've talked about this before. I wouldn't be disappointed because again, this team was never to be a surefire contender. And they've laid a great foundation considering everything that this team has dealt with. I wouldn't be it would suck. Don't get me wrong, it would suck completely. But what AK and Eversley now have as a foundation to build on and add to get closer to contendership. Listen, that's what it means. That's what it's all about. Alana says Keith is a casual. You got no. He's not. It's not even a casual. Keith is a Ball family fan, and that's fine, right? I don't mean to shit on Ball family stands or anything like that, but they have a very specific way that they look at basketball that isn't necessarily conducive to an actual team. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Igor says, I noticed that Zach tried to play aggressive defense, not all possession, but he tried. Vooch equals lazy ass defender. DeMar must step up his defense too. They must lead by example. I wonder if DeMar still, I know at one point he had the worst plus minus of anybody on the team in this game, and that held true. DeMar DeRozan had a plus minus of negative 24. That's bad. That's just not good at all, especially when you score 25 points on efficient 50% shooting at that. That screams terrible defense. Terrible defense. If the Bulls don't make a second round, it'll suck, but at least they made the playoffs. That's we've come very far. Keep in mind where the Bulls were before. Now they probably would have made the play at least a play in last year had Zach not went down late with COVID in the season, but still, yeah, that's disappointing. Blah. The Bulls had AC starting in power forward for crying out loud, and it wasn't horrible. Small lineups are not uncommon in this NBA. That's what I mean. Didn't you guys remember when Derrick Jones Jr. was our backup center and the Bulls were winning? Right? We're winning. So yeah. Io needs to come off the bench. He's been struggling against the point guard. The movement looked a little better. Lavine was attacking, but our bench needs to take over when switch out. They don't score much. Yeah, and then one of the things that I've been a staunch defender about Kobe is his bench scoring is needed. Bench scoring is needed for any team that's made a playoff run. The Bulls right now still rank at 28th. We were 29th in the league in bench scoring when before Kobe came in. It's been getting worse, but Io's in the starting lineup and things like that have been going on. But yeah, the bench scoring, the bench, I wouldn't be surprised if, especially if they do move on from Kobe White, if bench scoring isn't a big thing that they look for. So Kobe, Io, and Zoe are all 22 and 23 years old. Bulls guards will be straight. These guys just need more experience. That's a fact. That is 120% fact. Double Leavers. First of all, I love that username. Secondly, that is 100% fact. Kobe and Io, and it's funny how people, right? People like, oh, Io has so much potential, and they be like, oh, Kobe White is just this player forever, and Io's older than Kobe. But with that being said, they have so much room left to grow. Now we'll see what ends up and who ends up staying and whatnot. But yes, they have a lot of room to grow. Keep in mind, Io as a second round rookie. I said in my preseason predictions, right? After we drafted Io, I said Io probably isn't going to get a lot of minutes. And if he does, something either went very wrong or something went extremely right. I'm glad that it was on the other end of that. I'm glad that it was something went right. But keep in mind, a lot of rookies on a contending team, rookies this good, right? Because we know Io is a lottery round talent. Don't go to teams that are contending that soon. So yes, he looks great defensively in some games. In some games, he gets cooked. It happens. But what Io has as a base, and as the game starts slowing down for him and things like that, that boy is going to be bad on both sides of the ball. Bad on both sides of the ball. Bad. I mean, bad in a good way. He's going to be a bad, like not a bad. You guys know what the fuck I mean. Why am I explaining? Let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. Smear 60 with some rationale. We aren't trading Vooch, guys. Yes, it's not. Let me not say that. It depends. If a disgruntled superstar center just wants to be traded, then Vooch is out. But with that being said, like, yeah, Vooch isn't going to get traded. I don't expect Vooch to get traded. I don't. The redraft ESPN had Io at 14. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Tristan didn't show up tonight. Well, did y'all hear that his baby mama wanted 40? Was it 4,000 a month in child support? That just came out this morning. So Tristan got some shit on his mind, fam. Like, imagine somebody telling you, "Hey, man, I need 4,000 a month. That's what I need. I need a month, a month. I need 4,000 a month to take care of your child." Imagine if somebody told you that. It'd be a little. No, I'm just. He's professionals. They need to lock that in and play good basketball. But I just threw that out there because if somebody says they want 4,000 a month in child support. Man, listen. Haize, what happened to listen, it didn't happen, man. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. As you know, the Bears are moving out of Chicago, right? Rumors around the cities they may drop the Chicago from their name too. They better the fuck not. Like, listen, I just got pissed off reading that. They better the fuck not. They better not. Rondo 2 Raw says, what the fuck is DeMar doing down the stretch? Listen, DeMar is tired, y'all. Tired. That man has played 38 minutes damn near a game all season. That man is tired. That man is tired. For somebody with a bunch of other kids, yes. Listen, under 50, that's a lot of money regardless. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of goddamn money. I may be wrong. It may even be more than that. Hold on, let me Google it real quick. Let's see what it says. If I can find it. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on it. I can't fucking see it. I don't have my glasses on. I don't have my hat on. So one thing y'all may not know is that part of the reason why I wear a hat when I stream is because the lighting that's needed to make this all look amazing, is bright as shit. So I like wearing the hat so that it blocks. Okay, no, I was wrong. It's $50K per month. $50K per month. Per month. $50,000 per month. Oh, that man got some stress, man. He wasn't thinking about basketball. He was not thinking. He was thinking, but he needs to go get a vasectomy immediately. Immediately. Dead ass. Dead ass. Matter of fact, if I had as many, well, I got more kids than Tristan because he got 3. I got 4 children. However many. Listen, if somebody was after me for $50K a month in child support, I would go get a vasectomy and tell the doctors, listen, you ain't got to snip. Take the whole sack. Just take the sack. I don't even need it anymore. Take the sack, doc. Take the sack. Cut it off. Take the sack, fam. The sack can go. Take the sack. Go. Because you listen, you either gonna give them a bag of money or you can get this sack of balls. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? That's what I'll be telling the doctor. That's what I'll be telling the doctor. Let's see. Arlington Heights Bear Central just doesn't sound good. Listen here, man. They better not. That I listen. I would lose my shit. I would lose my shit. Fuck that. I would leave the team. Listen, if they change the name to the Arlington Heights Bears, I'm not a Bears fan anymore. I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving. Like, listen, I've been a Bears fan my whole life. I'm shutting down the channel. The Cognac boys can have the channel. I'm gone. Listen, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do at that point. I'm gonna follow Mitch Trubisky and be a Pittsburgh. No, that sounded I couldn't. That's a bad taste in my mouth. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Let's see what else we got. Boston going to the East Finals. Joshua Simmons. We got to see, man, if that can be sustained. We got to see. Boston has, shrunk in the playoffs as well before. So we'll see. We'll see. The fuck is my daughter doing up? First of all, Reginald, the fact that you think that this man uses condoms, there's no way in hell. I'm telling you right now, that man does not use condoms. I'm telling you, he does not do it. Malachi says, yeah, we shouldn't get mad at DeMar, D MVP. First of all, thank you for the super chat, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel at that level. What did I miss? What did Leviathan clothing say? Caruso was flexing his wrist and Zach was limping in the end of the fourth. Don't lie. Listen, no, listen. His wrist, it's probably tight. I've broken my wrist before, so that's not cause for alarm. Somebody keep in mind, just because they came back, it's not like it's like magically there's nothing. The bones are probably still healing, probably still mending a little bit. Everything's still settling in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was flexing his wrist. And Zach limping, listen, we know he got a hurt knee and he played his ass off today. So don't don't worry about that too much. I wouldn't worry about that too much. I'm telling you right now, Mitch is going to have a concussion very early on. He's gonna have a concussion very early into the season. Just watch. Watch. Would you sit DeMar for a week? I don't think they can afford it right now. Like get his minutes down, but I don't think they can afford to sit him for a full week. If we beat the Suns, I think that W alone will change the outlook for the rest of the season. Can't imagine that type of confidence. Though, man, listen, I'm not. I can't even. This team, I'm not willing to give them any benefit of a doubt right now until they win bunch of against a bunch of teams. I'm not. I can't give them anything. What else we got? Question everything says I took it, but you took what back? I didn't even mean to click on that one, but hey, Bulls, man, upset me again. Let's see what happened when P. Will and Lonzo back. Might have a chance. I don't know anymore. Well, that's the thing. You can't rely. This is why even when Caruso came back, and one of the first questions I posed after that game is, how good is our defense really if one man can change the complete energy of it? And then we seen it go right back down the next two games after that. Um, yeah, yeah, it's definitely some things going on with the coaching and the game plan when it comes to defense, and we need to see that get some look at in the next season as well. Caruso said in postgame, "There's nothing wrong with it. It gets sore, it just gets banged up in the game." Yeah, see that happens. Roll the dice on Zion. Roll Zion, right? That's who needs to roll. Like roll Zion, like literally push him down the hill. Let him roll down. Like that's it. No, we're not taking no damn roll of the dice on Zion. What the fuck? No, no. What in the hell? What is this? Can we possibly get Mitch? Oh, listen, y'all tired, man. Y'all tired. Y'all gotta. Jesus Christ. What the hell, man? What the fuck? Is that because of a commercial? Because of a commercial? What in the fuck, man? Like I'm trying to be Petty Roosevelt free. Trying to be Petty Roosevelt free. Zion to the Bulls confirmed. Man, people are crazy, fam. Boss says, wait, hold on. I traded for Zion on 2K if that matters. Jesus Christ, man. Man, Jesus. Zion was pushing 300 pounds in that commercial, though. Man, listen, that is crazy. That is fucking ridiculous. We've seen Zion play more basketball in 2K than in real life today. Do. Haize, why are some teams so consistent while others are not? Every player's in the NBA are professionals. Bulls need consistency. What? How long have you been watching basketball, brother? Like when you ask a question like that, I literally need to know how long you've been watching basketball, right? Come on, man. Come on, brother. Jesus. anyone who wants to acquire Zion and AD, I don't think know basketball. I'm starting to agree with you there. I'm starting to agree with you there. Dun, 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 dun. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We got about 40 minutes, and I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, let y'all answer some more questions. Um, but yeah, what else y'all got for me? Questions, comments, what y'all got? Top notch. Mountain Dew commercial confirms that Zion will join Lavine with the Bulls. Listen, that definitely sounds like a top notch title. These streams are like free therapy after loss with some of the stuff people say you go from pissed off to laugh. Listen, you gotta laugh to stop from crying. Because the funny thing is that some of the I know there's some trolling. There's some people just having fun, and that's listen. We all need to have fun. There's some times where you need to get things off your mind. Some of the comments I read, I know, or at least I hope people aren't serious. Um, but uh, but yeah, it's crazy. It's literally crazy how some people are and they handle losses. Tristan Pat Caruso, Kobe Isles looking like the bench once the playoffs start. Not worried. Well, I think Patrick Williams is going to eventually. I think they want him to be a starter. They're just going to bring him along slowly. So we'll see. Alex Larrea says, "What's one player that you would actually like to see join the Bulls?" I haven't really been looking at like potential free agents or anything quite yet. I wanted to get through the playoffs and then have some actual time to really break it. Because what I'm going to do, like I'm going to do with Marco, I'm going to go through and watch Marco every possession that Marco Simonovic played in the G League. So pray for me because that's going to be a couple of days worth of research. And then I'm also going to really take a look at and see like what player is as far as like analytics wise, like what do they bring as far as like offensive rebounding, blocking, things like that we're missing. How are they like passing out of pick and rolls, things like that. And then I'm gonna have a list for you guys. So I don't want to just throw just players that I think will look good. The one thing that I want to bring different to this channel when we do the off season is really have high level analysis on what players I think would fit in this team. Then I'll probably throw in a couple that I just want to see there as well. So what's y'all issue with Zion Williamson? Is that can't be a serious question. That can't be a serious question. It can't be a serious question. Mitchell Robinson. I don't know if that's realistic. Then keep in mind, for free agents, all we have to offer is the veteran minimum or the mid-level exception, or we can bring them in a trade exception. Now, they could get creative with signing trades as well to get more salary out of that, which we've seen AK and Eversley do, like this offseason with DeMar. But I don't know if the salary that Mitchell Robinson will command out in free agency is something that we'd be able to give him. So unless he just sees it as, hey, I can come to this Bulls team, I can play next to Vooch, I can play with Vooch, I can play next to Patrick Williams, I can step in and play for Patrick Williams sometimes, which I don't really think because he doesn't offer anything stretching wise. But unless he just wants to join the Bulls to make it a contender, I don't know if Mitchell Robinson is a realistic candidate for the salary that he's going to command alone. Keep in mind, he's on a mid-level exception now. The deal that he's on is technically mid-level exception money. So if he's looking for a raise, the Bulls really can't offer that. They really can't offer that. Let's see what else we got. Do 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 do. Come to think of it, Larry Bird did a commercial with Jordan back in the day, so clearly we're going to get Larry Bird. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. All right, that is it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you so much for your continued support. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you guys in a couple of days. Well, no, because actually Ricky Fontaine is actually doing the live stream after the Phoenix game on Friday. So look out for Ricky to do that live stream on Friday. I have my usual pre-recorded videos, but the next time you guys see me live, at least probably won't be till after Friday. We don't play again till Monday because we have the back-to-back Monday and Tuesday. So you guys will be seeing me Monday and Tuesday for live streams. But that may be the next time you guys see me live. So other than that, unless I decide to go live randomly tomorrow or something, you guys won't see me live and in living color until Monday in the Toronto game. Ricky got you guys held down for Friday, so be on the lookout. Support Ricky when he's doing that live stream, all that good stuff. But that's it. Like I like to end everything on. See red, don't be red. Love you guys. Go Bulls.